Thanks everybody for giving me the opportunity. Very blessed today, very blessed all the time to have such wonderful friends and family. And so during this time, I really wanted to focus a bit on how we survive a pandemic without going into pandemonium. What exactly does this mean for us? During times of stress, whether they're physical, emotional, or environmental, we always want to maintain our creative thinking. We always want to make sure that we're enjoying new experiences. And even though we're in the middle of a pandemic, this pandemic itself is a new experience for us. So there's ways for us to really embrace what the current challenges offer us. How do we keep ourselves from being preoccupied and leading into unhealthy lifestyles and thought processes? How do we maintain our emotional stability and strength? How do we be present and how do we stay in the moment? By the end of this, I want to provide you a mechanism that actually shows scientifically to alter gene expression that helps reduce inflammation in our body. So what is it that is disrupting everyone's superpower? That really takes some deep thought. There's no clear answer for everyone. It's so individual. So we really need to take some time. The biggest question I can say that you have to answer and share this with your friends, your family, your loved one is, when you were in one of your biggest challenges in life, what was your strength? What was your skill that helped you get through to the end? That is something that I want us to hold on to, help nurture that skill throughout these types of episodes, whether it's a pandemic or whatever challenge in the future we may be facing. What exactly is it that we need to do in order to understand how to do this? We have to understand how the brain works. And this is based on Maslow's theory. Green is where we have a higher level of thinking. It's our prefrontal cortex. Then we have our love, belonging sense, which is in the midbrain. This is the emotional area, the amygdala. Then we have our safety zone, which is the brainstem. It's that fight or flight response. And anytime we have disturbances where we are outnumbering our resources compared to our demand, in this case, the demand of the pandemic, whether it's psychological, whether it's emotional, whether it's an environmental stressor, those all add to going to where the natural gravitational pull brings us into the safety zone, that fight or flight. And examples of that are running from a white tiger. That's the safety zone. When we find ourselves in a turbulent zone in our emotional state, it's that quick reaction that we have with our family member, our loved one, or friend, or something we see on social media that we don't agree with. But when we get to the significant stage, that's where we're actually able to identify all these reactions and take control of that. That is where we are constantly flourishing. That is where our inspiration comes from in our creativity, instead of constantly being reactive. So keeping ourselves at the top of our game is by staying at the tip of the spear and being in the significant area of thought, our prefrontal cortex. One of the best tools that I have found, especially for clients that I start working with, people that I see in the emergency department, whether they're having chronic pain or they're dealing with a loved one who is sick, or whether they have COVID-19. It's this free program called headspace.com. It is just one tool, but the focus is on remaining mindful. And what does mindfulness do? So there are 3 steps through which mindfulness helps us stay at the tip of the spear, the tip of the pyramid. The first step is breathing slowly in and out. Typically, they're equal breaths. And I did this in a group setting. And in that group setting, over 50% of the people actually showed improvement in less than 1 minute, which was astonishing to me, because this is typically done 3 times a day for 5 minutes or twice a day for 10 minutes in the studies that have shown to be effective. The way this works is there are 3 simple steps. One is there's a tool, in this case, it's breathing. That breathing tool allows us to step away from the disentanglement of what that source of turbulence is. We step away from it. We are able to look into what is creating that turbulence and how we're reacting. We're able to become aware of ourself instead of being wrapped up in it. The third part is that as we identify that, we now are able to provide higher level thinking, higher level of emotion, such as love and kindness to others, as well as receive it well. What I love about Headspace, and there's some other advanced tools too. What I love about it is that it's free, it's available for everyone. They do a 10-day period. But then they also have specific forms of meditation for everybody, whether it's for work or stress, kids, to sleep or focus. So I really appreciate when we can share something quickly with everybody that we love, care, and the general public. So the keys to this are really for us to stay in our green zone. It's always to have some sense of mindfulness on a daily basis, keep ourselves from getting into a turbulent zone in a circular pattern of emotion or into the fight or flight zone. There are many consequences of this downstream, but this purpose of how to survive a pandemic without becoming a victim to the pandemonium is right here, and it starts with ourselves. So I just wanted to wish everyone well, and thank you guys very much.
Thank you,
Very
Hetal.
good.
Thank you.
Amazing. That is
Thank
really
you.
Great, thanks.
Good job.
Can you
Thank you.
post that for us? I like
Yeah.
that. Great.